it is important to understand how to go to full hip extension and understand the different pelvic positions. I've talked about this a lot, say in posts where I say, make an ugly butt. Although you may frequently see glute exercises performed from this position, it's actually not an ideal way to squeeze your glutes. Try it. It's very hard when your pelvis is in anterior tilt to squeeze your glutes. When you go into neutral, it becomes a little bit easier, but the easiest or best position that your glutes can contract from is posterior pelvic tilt. So, curved over, you can really squeeze your glutes as hard as you can. This is a great position to do, say, hip thrusts or glute focused back extensions. Is this an ideal position for all of your lower body exercises? This is context dependent. People often perform barbell back squats because they really want to target their glutes. While I would argue there are better exercises for this specifically, like hip thrusts, that doesn't make squats a bad exercise. Squats are an absolutely fantastic exercise, one of the very best exercises. But because people really want to target their glutes, they make sure at the top of the movement that they really squeeze their glutes at the top. The problem with this is that they get into a position where they're loading, they have an axial load on their spine, and they tilt their pelvis under. It's not the safest to be in this position when there's load bearing down. The glutes are primarily, during a squat, working through the sticking point. More through this range is when you're working your glutes, not as much right here. With an exercise like a hip thrust, when the weight is actually actively loading your hips, pushing to full hip extension is more challenging because you're pushing directly against the weight. With a back squat, the weight is loading your spine. It's really not that hard to do that. So in a hip thrust, you do want to be using some posterior pelvic tilt or having at least a neutral pelvic position, but most people feel it better from here. So eyes forward, make sure you're going to full extension. Not